Imagine reaching for a common pain pill, a simple act for relief. As a geriatrician, I see a hidden danger in that gesture, a silent countdown that begins without warning. There's a popular painkiller that, while easing your ache, may be quietly dismantling the very framework of your body. The daily reality for many seniors is a conversation with chronic pain. It's the stiffness in your joints on a cold morning, the deep ache in your lower back after standing, or the sharp twinge in a knee that was once reliable. This isn't just discomfort. It's a thief that steals mobility, joy, and the simple freedom to move through your day, unburdened. It dictates what you can and cannot do, slowly shrinking your world and your sense of self. Understanding this daily battle is the first step in finding a truly safe path to relief, one that doesn't come with a hidden devastating cost. Faced with this persistent pain, the desire for normalcy is overwhelming. You don't just want the pain to stop. You want your life back. You want to be able to garden, to play with your grandchildren, to walk to the local shop without a second thought. This psychological drive for independence and control makes a quick, effective painkiller seem like a miracle. It is a tool that promises to restore your capabilities and erase the limitations imposed by your body, making it an incredibly powerful and sought-after solution in the daily lives of millions of seniors. This reliance is fueled by a culture of convenience. Advertisements on television and in magazines portray vibrant, active seniors who have conquered their pain with a single, small pill. Pharmacies place these medications at eye level, making them an easy, thoughtless purchase. This constant exposure has normalized the act of taking a painkiller, positioning it not as a serious medical intervention but as a routine part of self-care. Much like taking a vitamin, this perception of harmlessness is precisely where the danger begins to take root, unnoticed by the user. What we often forget is that the aging body is not the same as a younger one. The liver and kidneys, our primary filtering organs, often function with less efficiency as we age. This means that medications can stay in our system longer and have more pronounced effects, both good and bad. A dose that a 30-year-old could clear with ease might accumulate in the system of a magnifying its impact. This physiological reality changes the entire risk-benefit equation for many common, over-the-counter drugs, turning a supposed quick fix into a potential long-term problem. The issue with the specific painkiller we'll discuss is not its intended effect. It does, in fact, reduce pain. The problem is a collateral effect, a hidden action that operates on a completely different biological system from the one causing the pain. While you are focused on quieting an aching joint, this medication is quietly at work elsewhere, undermining a fundamental structure of your body. It's an insidious process because it produces no immediate symptoms, giving you no warning that a critical foundation of your health is being weakened with each dose you take. Before we identify this culprit, it's crucial to understand the silent victim in this story. You're a skeleton. Think of your bone density not as something static, but as your body's personal wealth account, a bank of strength and structure. Throughout your life, you make deposits and withdrawals. In your later years, making deposits of new bone becomes harder, and the body tends to make more withdrawals. This bone bank account is your single greatest asset for maintaining independence and avoiding the life-altering consequences of a fall. Our bones are in a constant state of dynamic renewal, a process called remodeling. Imagine tiny construction crews working inside your skeleton. One set of cells, the osteoclasts, are the demolition crew, removing old, worn-out bone tissue. They are followed by the osteoblasts, the construction crew, who lay down new, strong bone matrix in its place. In a healthy younger person, this process is balanced. As we age, however, the demolition crew can start to work faster than the construction crew, leading to a net loss of bone mass and strength. The consequences of this imbalance, which leads to conditions like osteopenia and osteoporosis, are devastating. It's not the disease itself that is feared, but its outcome. Fractures, a hip fracture, in particular, is a catastrophic event for a senior. It often signals the end of independent living, leading to surgery, prolonged hospitalization, a high risk of complications like blood clots and infections, and a significant decrease in life expectancy. A simple fall can transform a vibrant, active person into one who is frail and dependent, all because the underlying architecture was compromised. The most frightening aspect of bone density loss is its silence. You cannot feel your bones getting weaker. There is no pain, no stiffness, no outward sign that your internal scaffolding is becoming more porous and fragile. The first symptom, the very first indication that anything is wrong, is often the sound and sudden, sharp pain of a bone breaking. This is why it's called a silent disease. It does its damage completely under the radar, only revealing itself at the moment of crisis. This silence makes proactive prevention absolutely essential. It is precisely within this delicate, silent process of bone remodeling that the painkiller in question wages its secret war. It acts as a saboteur, quietly interfering with the natural balance of your body's internal construction project. While your attention is focused on the immediate relief of a surface-level ache, a much deeper, more structural problem is being created and compounded. The medication disrupts the fundamental signals that your body uses to maintain a strong and resilient skeleton, tipping the scales in favor of demolition over construction. Now that we fully appreciate the value of our skeletal architecture and the silent nature of the threat against it, it's time to pull back the curtain. The problem isn't some obscure, rare medication. It's a substance hiding in plain sight, likely sitting in your own home right now. The time has come to name the drug that so many seniors are told is safe, but which, as a geriatrician, I must implore you to approach with extreme caution. The relief it offers today could be traded for the fragility you experience tomorrow. Think about the medication you might take for a sudden headache, for the inflammation of arthritis, or to manage post-exercise muscle soreness. It's found in virtually every medicine cabinet and on every pharmacy shelf, promoted as a fast and effective solution for a wide range of common ailments. Its ubiquity has made it a trusted friend to many, a go-to remedy for the aches and pains that are a part of life. But as we will soon see, this familiar friend can have a hidden, unfriendly side, especially when its welcome is overstayed. The class of painkillers we are talking about are the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, more commonly known as NSAID. This includes incredibly popular over-the-counter medications like ibuprofen and as well as stronger prescription versions like diclofenac or yes, the very same pills many of us rely on without a second thought are the ones that carry this secret risk. They are effective for pain, but their hidden cost to your bone health can be profound, accumulating silently over months and years of regular use. I can sense the surprise and perhaps even disbelief. Many of you have likely been told by a healthcare professional to take an NSAID for a sprain or a bout of arthritis, and for short-term, occasional use, the risk is relatively low. The critical distinction, and the central point of this warning, is the difference between occasional use and chronic use. The danger emerges when taking these pills becomes a daily or near-daily habit, a routine part of managing ongoing pain. It is this continuous exposure that allows the secret erosion to take hold. To understand why this happens, we must first look at how NSAIDs work. Their primary function is to block enzymes in the body called cyclooxygenase, or COX enzymes. There are two main types. COX. These enzymes are responsible for creating substances called which cause feelings of pain and inflammation at a site of injury. By blocking the COX enzymes, NSAIDs reduce the production of prostaglandins, and as a result, your pain and swelling decrease. This is their intended and beneficial effect. Here, however, is the scientific twist that is so often overlooked. These COX enzymes are not villains. They perform many other vital, protective functions throughout your body. COX-1, for example, helps protect the lining of your stomach from its own acid. Both COX-1 and COX-2 play a crucial, though less known, role in the process of bone metabolism. They are part of the complex signaling system that tells your body when and where to build new bone. They are, in essence, messengers for your bone construction crew. When you take an NSAID regularly, you are not just silencing the signals of pain and inflammation. You are also inadvertently silencing these essential messengers for bone health. By blocking the COX enzymes to get relief from your arthritis, you are simultaneously interfering with the very mechanism that helps repair and maintain your skeleton. This is the heart of the problem. In the quest to solve one issue, you unknowingly create a far more dangerous one, dismantling your body's foundation from the inside out. The primary way NSAIDs erode bone density is through a direct attack on your bone-building cells. The prostaglandins, which are blocked by these drugs, act as a green light for your osteoblast or construction cells we mentioned earlier. When prostaglandin levels are suppressed by chronic NSAID use, the osteoblasts receive fewer signals to get to work. Their activity slows down, and the rate of new bone formation decreases. Meanwhile, the demolition crew, the second line of attack is more indirect and targets your kidneys. Chronic use of NSAIDs can impair kidney function over time. This is critical because your kidneys play an essential role in activating vitamin D in your body. You can consume all the vitamin D you want through food or supplements, but it is useless until your kidneys convert it into its active form. Active vitamin D is absolutely necessary for your intestines to absorb calcium, the primary building block of bone. Impaired kidneys mean less active vitamin D, which means less calcium absorption, starving your bones of their most vital nutrient. The third front in this assault happens in your gut. NSAIDs are well known for their potential to irritate and damage the lining of the stomach and small intestine, even leading to ulcers with long-term use. This damage is not just a source of discomfort, it's a barrier to nutrition. A compromised gut lining is less efficient at absorbing key nutrients from your food. This means that not only is calcium absorption at risk, but so is the absorption of other crucial bone-supportive minerals like magnesium and phosphorus, further compounding the deficit of raw materials for your skeleton. So, picture this as a three-pronged attack on your skeletal integrity. With chronic NSAID used, you are simultaneously slowing down your bone construction crews, reducing the supply of active vitamin D needed to absorb your main building material and damaging the very infrastructure. Your gut that is supposed to deliver all the necessary materials to the construction site. It's a perfect storm for accelerating bone loss, all happening silently, while you believe you are simply managing your pain. It is vital to reiterate that this damage is strongly linked to the dose and duration of use. Taking an ibuprofen a few times a year for a headache is not the concern here. The significant risk lies with the person who takes an NSAID every single day for their arthritis, or multiple times a week for chronic back pain, for months or even years on end. It is this sustained, long-term suppression of the body's natural processes that allows the cumulative damage to your bones, kidneys, and gut to occur and to become a serious health threat. This process of erosion is insidious because it is a slow burn. It doesn't happen overnight. It is a gradual decline, a few percentage points of bone density lost this year, a few more the next. You won't feel it happening, but over 5, 10, or 15 years of habitual use, this slow erosion can be the difference between having strong, resilient bones in your 80s and suffering a debilitating hip fracture from a minor stumble. Understanding this long-term mechanism is the key to making safer choices today for a stronger tomorrow. Certain groups of people are naturally at a higher risk for this NSA. Postmenopausal women are particularly vulnerable because they are already experiencing accelerated bone loss due to the decline in estrogen. Individuals who already have a diagnosis of osteopenia, the precursor to osteoporosis, are also at an elevated risk, as their bone bank account is already low. Smokers and individuals with a low body weight face increased risks as well, as these are independent risk factors for poor bone health. You can also create a perfect storm for bone loss by combining chronic NSAID use with other risk factors. For instance, someone taking a corticosteroid drug like prednisone for an autoimmune condition is already at a high risk for bone thinning. If they also take a daily NSAID for pain, they are dramatically accelerating this process. Similarly, combining regular NSAID use with a diet that is poor in calcium and vitamin D is like trying to build a house with a slow construction crew and no bricks. The structure is destined to fail. While you can't feel bone loss, you can pay attention to other signals from your body that might indicate you're overusing NSAIDs. Do you experience frequent heartburn, indigestion, or stomach pain? Have you noticed a new or worsening issue with high blood pressure? These are common side effects of long-term NSAID use and can serve as your body's warning system. Seeing these signs should prompt you to reconsider your pain management strategy and discuss the potential for systemic side effects with your doctor, including the silent effect on your bones. Take a moment for some honest self-reflection. Look at your calendar for the past month. On how many separate days did you take an NSAID like ibuprofen or naproxen? Was it 2, 5, 15, more than 20? The answer may surprise you and can be a powerful wake-up call. Many people fall into a habit without realizing just how frequently they are relying on these medications. Quantifying your use is the first concrete step toward assessing your personal level of risk and deciding if a change is needed. Another hidden danger is the unintentional doubling of doses. NSAIDs are not just sold as single-ingredient pain relievers. They are a common component in multi-symptom cold and flu remedies, sinus medications, and even some sleep aids. A person might take an ibuprofen for their arthritic knee, and then, later in the day, take a cold and flu tablet that also contains an NSAID, without carefully reading every label. It's very easy to consume a much higher daily dose than is recommended, significantly increasing all the associated risks. Identifying your risks is a critical first step, but it is not meant to be a source of anxiety. It is a call to action. Knowledge, in this case, is power to power to protect yourself. Once you understand the potential threat, you can begin to build a robust defense plan. This plan involves not only considering safer ways to manage your pain, but also actively implementing strategies to nourish and strengthen your bones, making them more resilient regardless of the challenges they face. The goal is to shift from a reactive to a proactive mindset. The single most important rule before you make any changes is this: do not stop taking any prescribed medication on your own. This information is not a command to throw your pills away. It is a tool to empower you. The goal is to open a dialogue with your doctor or pharmacist. You can now go to them with specific, informed questions about your pain management plan, its long-term effects on your bones, and what safer alternatives might be available for your specific situation. This collaborative approach is the key to your safety. For many types of non-inflammatory pain, such as from acetaminophen, is often considered a safer first-line option regarding bone health. However, it is not without its own risks, particularly for the liver, and it must be taken exactly as directed, never exceeding the maximum daily dose. It's crucial to understand that every medication has a risk profile, and the goal is to work with your healthcare provider to choose the one with the most favorable balance of benefits and risks for your individual health circumstances. Far more powerful than switching pills is embracing non-medication strategies. Physical therapy is not a passive treatment. It is an active process of strengthening the muscles that support your aching joints, which can dramatically reduce pain. Weight-bearing exercises like walking and resistance exercises like lifting light weights send direct signals to your body to build stronger bones. These activities treat both the symptom and the underlying problem, offering a dual benefit. Nutrition is your secret weapon. You can actively support your skeleton by ensuring you get enough of the bone health triad. This consists of calcium, your primary building block, vitamin D3, the key that unlocks calcium absorption, and vitamin K2, which acts like a traffic cop, directing calcium into your bones and away from your arteries. Magnesium is another crucial player, involved in hundreds of processes related to bone and muscle health. A diet rich in leafy greens, dairy, or fortified alternatives, and fatty fish can provide this powerful support. Explore other therapeutic avenues that reduce your overall need for painkillers. For many, the simple application of heat can soothe stiff, arthritic joints, while cold packs can reduce acute inflammation and pain. Therapies like acupuncture have shown promise for some types of chronic pain, and lifestyle changes, such as quitting smoking or losing excess weight, can have a profound impact on both your pain levels and your overall bone health, reducing the strain on your joints and the systemic inflammation in your body. The ultimate goal should be a paradigm shift in how you think about pain. Instead of simply trying to mask the sensation, strive to address its root cause and fortify your body against it. By strengthening your muscles, improving your flexibility, nourishing your skeleton, and reducing inflammation naturally, you decrease your reliance on any single pill. This holistic approach empowers you to take control, building a body that is not only in less pain, but is also fundamentally stronger, more resilient, and better prepared for a long, active life. Ultimately, the goal is not to live in fear of a medicine cabinet, but to approach your health with wisdom and foresight. Understanding the hidden risks of chronic use empowers you to become the most important advocate for your own well-being. This knowledge transforms you from a passive recipient of care to an active partner in your long-term health. The greatest gift you can give yourself, and those you care about, is the power of informed choice. So, please, share this video. You might be saving someone you love from a preventable fracture and helping them preserve their precious independence for years to come. Leave a comment below, sharing your non-medication strategies for pain. And for more vital health insights, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications.